Noam Chomsky spoke to WorldNet Daily, and he proposed a really interesting thought experiment that I want to discuss with you guys. Here he is talking about Obama's drone campaign and Obama's general position on civil liberties.
He's on his way, supposedly, to Runnymede on June 15th for a commemoration of Magna Carta. The principal element of Magna Carta was establishing a principle of presumption of innocence. A person is innocent until proven guilty in a fair trial with due process, a trial of peers. Now, of course, it was very narrow in 800 years ago, but it's expanded over the years. Obama's completely rescinded. The drone assassination campaign officially designates people as guilty if the White House decides that they might someday want to harm us. That's the official version of the drone assassination campaign. So it's a global assassination campaign which eliminates completely any conception of presumption of innocence. And I don't think there's the most remote justification for anything like this, quite apart from the fact that the people they kill they go way beyond even the suspect. And even going after the suspect is criminal. If any other country were doing this, say Iran, we'd consider it justification for nuclear war.
So think about what he's saying there. He's proposing a very interesting experiment where he's saying, imagine for a second that another nation did with drones what we do with drones. So say China wanted to do a drone campaign. They fly their drones into any country they want. They don't officially declare war. They don't go to the international community or anything like that. And they just start blowing shit up whenever they feel like it because they say that the people they're blowing up are bad guys. How would we respond to that? How would we respond if Russia was doing that? Somebody who we're really on shaky grounds with right now. If Russia starts, flying drones, not just in Ukraine where they're actually fighting right now, but if they go to Poland or Belarus or something like that and they start blowing people up who they think are anti-Russian, how would we respond to that? No, I think Chomsky's 100% right that, we would view that as a real violation of international law, a violation of the norms and the world order that we've put in place. And this is an action that's very aggressive and it merits a response that, will come back at you with at least the same amount of force, but probably more. And I think he's right when he says if a country like Iran does it, oh my God, we'd probably say to Israel, release the hounds of hell, or we'd consider a nuke. And here's why this is so frustrating. When we act in this way, nobody bats a fucking eyelash. In fact, you have liberals in America who are like, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Like Obama said in the last State of the Union speech. He's like, the question isn't if America's going to lead in the world, it's how America's going to lead in the world. And then he goes on to explain, the all-out war thing like the neocons did, like in Iraq with George Bush and Dick Cheney, that was crazy. But what I'm in favor of is let's just fly our killer robots over the skies everywhere where we don't like people and kill people from time to time. That's the more liberal idea. The more conservative idea is all-out war, invade, whatever, go crazy. The liberal idea is no ground invasion, but let's kill people with flying robots. So even liberals in America just take it for granted. They're like, okay, that's just what it is. This is just what we do. But what you're admitting to is, if you're on that page, is I do not apply the same standards to myself that I would apply to other people. So we would get outraged if Iran did it or China did it or Russia did it. We would say, oh my God, this is a rogue nation, an aggressive nation breaking international law. But when we do it, it's sit down and shut up and it's okay. You can't even question it. And it's the problem of what I call moral extrapolation. So any, philosophical discussion about morality has to center around the idea that if it's bad for me, if it's bad for you, it's bad for me. Okay? That's just a moral principle. So if anybody does it, it's wrong. But America's like, fuck that. We're going to build in the double standards to the way we think. So in other words, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do, and it's okay because we're the good guys, because I just said we're the good guys. So it's not, notice, you've gotten out of the paradigm and out of the spectrum of your actions define who you are. And you've gotten into the realm of, no, we're just going to slap labels on people. So America, good. Anybody who's not on our side, bad. And that's the way we look at it. You have to be able to universalize or generalize your moral compass and your moral code and say, if somebody else does it and we think it's wrong, then we shouldn't do it either, because it'd be equally as wrong if we do it. And as Chomsky explained there, the drone campaign flips the burden of proof, where ever since the Magna Carta days, the idea was innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof is on the state. Your home is your castle. That's where the government cannot be intrusive and just come in there and do whatever the fuck they want. And with the drone campaign, it's totally flipped, where, they have kill lists. It's not like these people were, the names or the people were brought in front of a judge and the judge said, yeah, guilty, go ahead, do whatever you want, kill them. No, they just kill them. They just say, we don't like these guys, we think they're guilty, we're going to kill them, and then other people would have to prove that they weren't guilty. We're just going to assume that they're guilty. So it's guilty until proven innocent. They think males from age whatever it is, 16 to 60, are terrorists. They just are terrorists because we say they're terrorists. And this is how you get to a situation where in Pakistan and Yemen and Somalia, we've killed so many civilians. I mean, we did stories about how we blew up wedding processions. I mean, that's horrendous shit, man. We blew up funerals of Taliban operatives when we knew women and children were there, and we said, fuck it, who cares? We might get one Taliban guy or two Taliban guys and might kill 40 or 50 civilians, women and children, blow them up anyway. We killed a grandmother picking vegetables in a field. And this is all because we decided, okay, burden of proof is flipped, and we're not going to treat them like they're humans, and let's just kill them, and let's say fuck it. And also, remember, what we're doing is not only wrong under international law, it's wrong under U.S. law. Because according to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, you have to declare war in a country if you fight there. And the Congress needs to do it. Congress hasn't signed off on the drone war in Pakistan and Yemen and Somalia and in other places. They haven't done it. So we just, we do drone strikes in these places, we kill people, and then we say, what do you mean? We're not at war with this country. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean we're not at war with them? Again, if China started blowing up shit in Kentucky, would we say it's all right? It's not a war. It's just a limited drone mission where they're blowing up some people who are sovereign citizens terrorists. Whatever, man. Forget about it. No big deal. Would we view that as an act of war? Of course we'd view it as an act of war. Which brings me right back to my main point, which is that the idea is, unfortunately, and this is true for all imperialist nations that have ever existed throughout history, the idea is, whatever we do is justifiable because it's right by definition, because we mean well and because we're the good guys. So therefore, if we violate international law, if we violate the Constitution, if we do shit that we get mad at if other nations do it, who gives a fuck?